Okay, Facebook and Instagram, welcome, welcome, you are now live. I like those little symbols. Welcome, my name is Hannah from Reality Awareness. If you don't know me, say hi and let me know that this is your first time to my live stream, if it is. And I'm here to do an energy update. That's the main important thing, because there's been so many people saying so many things, and then I've been going through huge stuff. Most of you have seen a lot of stuff on Facebook, and I really want to share a lot about that, about what's been going on for me personally, and that includes the energy update. So there's a big part, there's a big part that goes on for me, I guess, behind the scenes in a way, and I used to share a lot publicly, and I'm starting to do that again, as most of you are seeing, right? Hey Anne, and I forget at times, this thing's really annoying me because it's like, I think I plugged the power cord in and it's kind of like on an angle. So yeah, and then like there's been a lot of things going on for me personally, and because of that I'm like, don't know to share or not. And it's interesting, like I'm going through this process at the moment of like, I don't know what it's called, like where's the fine line, what do I share, what do I not. And I think just because of what I've been going through and experiencing, you know, in the past few months, like there's a part of me that, I don't know if it's not that I not want to share, I feel like, I don't know, like, I don't know, I'm going through this process, right? I'm going through this process, and I think that I want to share about it because, as I shared in my Trust Intuition group today, I go in there, like I share, and I get nervous because I just think that it's just me. And it's so weird, I'm going through this process right now because I used to be so open, and I think that I've been hurt a lot recently in the past few months, that I'm like, don't want to share me because I get like, it kind of comes back in my face in a way. And I'm like, but I never used to worry about that sort of stuff in the past. And that's where I'm like tweaking and like, but I never used to worry about that stuff. So I'm like, right? Because that's a big part of who I am. It's a big part of my purpose. It's a big part of how I teach, right? So yeah, I've got a lot to share tonight. It is like night here, it's like 11:30 in Australia. So if you guys are tuning in from the other side of the world, would love to know what time it is there. Hey guys on Instagram, lovely to have you here. Hey Tammy, hey Dorothea, it's good morning over there. It's good evening here. Hi Nelina. All right, let me share this on Facebook because I haven't done that yet. So I've got this like energy update to share, plus I really, and this like leads into like how I've really built my business online, right? So, and I've been getting a lot of questions about this. Okay, let me share this, right? Because this is really interesting, and it really comes into like, you know, the flow on about trusting intuition and your life purpose, and you know what you're here to do and how and where and like all that jazz, right? So let me just share this and I shall be present with y'all. So Tammy's here. So 8:22 a.m. in Texas. Awesome. It's 11:20. Well, it's just gone 23. It says 23:23 on my thingo. Okay. Thanks, Dorothea. So yeah, if you want to share this, 9:23 a.m. What's a morning one? See, I haven't done a public live stream. I haven't done a late night live stream for a while. So how are you guys going? Hey Jessie, some people on Instagram. How are you guys feeling with these energies, right? Because there's been a bit of like there's a lot of stuff I want to talk about, as always. Always got a lot to say. Okay. I don't know why it's doing this. It's like shares, and then it like shares, says share to your timeline. I'm like, yes. But then it just shares to my Reality Awareness page, which I've already done. I'm live on my Reality Awareness page. Okay. Just gonna try one more time. Okay. All right. Okay. So, guys and girls. So, what I really want to talk about in this space is the energy and the energy update and the stuff that goes on. And again, I feel like I feel really vulnerable sharing, but I'm just gonna blah, 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 blah. So a lot of you guys would have seen, perhaps, on my personal page. So I share everything on my personal page that I do on my public business page. That's just who I am. It's kind of always what I've done, always built my business this way. And as I've grown in my business, building online, things that I've noticed is and they say this, right? And I know this is kind of talking about my personal journey, but it's giving an energy update at the same time, because I know what I've been clearing out personally when I'm really tapping into it. Hey, Matthew, I'm I don't know where the point is for me that I switched from just thinking it's all about me, right? I know it sounds really egotistical in a way, but in a sense, I'm no, I'm just going through this stuff. And I'm no, actually, there's a lot of people going through this stuff. So let me start by saying right now, the energies are very much I don't want to do this anymore. I give up in a way. There's that much kind of I give up. I've had enough. I don't want to do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. Depression, really doubting what you're doing. It's you're supposed to do this and you're doing it, but it's I don't know why I'm doing this anymore. There's a loss of purpose. Yeah. Right now there's a big collective I know I'm meant to do this, but the drive behind why you've been doing things is just not there anymore. It's kind of and that almost sends you into this doubt, into this spiral, into this spin of I don't know what I'm supposed to do, right? So Samantha says, I don't know what my life purpose is. And in this energy and what's going on collectively at the moment, we don't even need to know what our purpose is, right? Whatever you have been doing in your life up until this point, it is you start second guessing that. You start second guessing everything you've ever done. It's you keep doing it because you're supposed to be doing it, but it's all this stuff kicks in around, I don't actually know why we're doing this anymore. So it's you turn up with a lesser energy to it, or you turn up with just a despondency is the word that's coming to mind. Just yeah, I know I have to do this, but I kind of the why I've done everything up until this point is just not there anymore, right? Your why has changed almost. Yeah. And I'm fully sensing in this space of and it is depression and just there's a lot of grief also coming out. Yeah, there's a lot of tears, for myself, even personally, I feel really alive right now at midnight, but there's a lot of grief, just can't stop crying, just can't, it's just you kind of start crying, and it's almost grief that has been buried for a long time around around things. And as I have been saying in the past few weeks, if you've been following me, it's we're dealing with a lot of sacral chakra stuff at the moment. So there's the third eye and then there's the sacral. Yeah. And the sacral is releasing, as we're in the third eye and seeing the truth in relationships, as the third eye and the sacral are really interconnected, it's all the grief, and because grief is stored in the sacral chakra, which is in our large intestines, in our intestines, that's where grief is stored. And there's a lot of it's coming out, and it's almost like we're stepping away from these paradigms, and this whole new reality is being birthed. But in that is the grief. Yeah. It's the lid has been lifted in a way, and it's it can't be held back anymore. It can't be held down. It can't sit in that energetic field. And I always say this, you know, when we're working on and like doing all this personal development and we're growing and evolving and like all this stuff, it's like we can't, you know, like that vibration cannot be in our vibration anymore, right? Because we're increasing our vibration by doing all these, like all the internal work and clearing out past life trauma and like all this heavy stuff is being lifted out of our aura. And so we raise our vibration and we raise our frequency, and we're constantly doing this, like raising our vibration and frequency. Like you guys know that once we're awake, we can't go back to sleep, right? And it's so then like the real deep heavy stuff can't be there anymore, and it's kind of like we can get into bouts of anxiety or like, you know, all these kind of like, and it's like this loss of purpose or this loss of direction, or this like all of a sudden like everything that you've ever been doing is like all of a sudden I don't know why I'm doing this anymore. Like the why has changed, like I said, right? And what that is that because we've been raising our frequency and raising our vibration and doing all this work, our vibration and frequency is rising. So then the heavier stuff, the bigger core wounding stuff can't be there anymore. So that's also coming up and out. Now, you're going along and doing these things because this, we call it a wound. This wound has been there at the core and underneath of everything. It's been the driver for this why. Okay, now as we've been going along, and then this is shifting up and out too, which is kind of like this past 10 days roughly. It's been hitting a lot of people in the past 10 days especially. Okay, the deeper stuff has been hitting people. Now in this deeper stuff coming up and out, all of a sudden this why and this drive has just gone like that. Yeah, why? Because this wound isn't there anymore, right? And it's like, you know, I even said to people, I'm like, this can of worms, I know this is going to open a can of worms, I know, but this can of worms has to come out. Like, it's like I had to voice my truth. I had to speak things, right? If you guys see my personal page, you understand what I'm talking about. I had to voice my truth. I could have let it go. And I was like, but I fucking need to hold my ground. I need to stand my truth, right? And so when this thing comes up and out, all of a sudden this drive and this why isn't there driving it anymore. Now, what happens in this space, what happens in this space then is that we're recalibrating. So we're like, but I need to do these things, but the drive is not there. I don't know what is that thing? It's not a reaction. I don't know what it's called, right? The thing's not there anymore. Okay. Now in the grief that starts pouring out of that, because usually when we've buried something, there's a pile of grief, like we've been hurt in some way, shape or form, right? And so when we bury that for whatever reason, rhyme or shape or form, right? When that comes up and out, it like the grief of what originally happened come out. Yeah. Like, and that's like, it comes up and out. Yeah. So if you are going through bouts of grief or waves of grief, that's a normal part of the healing process. Now, what do we do with this now space? All right. So I'm removing that's gone. What do we now do with this space that's left here? And we've got this drive of like, we're doing our normal thing. What do we do with this space now? It's like, oh, okay, there's like space. Now, number one, get comfortable with space. Yeah, get comfortable with space. Talking about masculine and feminine energy, space comes into the feminine energy. It's a very being energy. It's not a doing energy. So if you can imagine, like, you know, that where the wound was, and this was a driving factor for doing whatever you're doing. Okay. Now, when we remove that wound, this driver has been a very masculine energy. Yeah, it's been a very like, okay, go, 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 go. Yeah. Now, when we remove that out and there's space all of a sudden, that's a very feminine energy. Okay. So when we get into a very feminine energy, here, it's one, getting comfortable with space. Yes. Getting comfortable with the feminine, getting comfortable with receiving. Okay, because this masculine driving force, there's no room for anything to come in. So receiving issues, love, money, abundance, whatever the story is, right? Whatever you're trying to receive, this do energy blocks that. But all of a sudden we clear out that wound, yeah, old stuff is going. And so this comes into a receiving space. There's all of a sudden space for stuff to come in and receive. So what do we fill the space with? We just get comfortable with being in space, because sometimes, especially when we've shifted out of masculine we're not comfortable with space. We're not comfortable with receiving. Okay. And that comes into rewiring our brain and retraining our brain and telling ourselves it's safe to receive. Yeah. Because a lot of us are not comfortable receiving, which is receiving is a feminine energy, but what's coming in is a masculine energy. Okay, so yes, we need to get comfortable with space, which is being open to receiving. But if we're still not comfortable with the masculine, which is a receiving energy, yeah, right? Always come back to that penis and vagina, it's got to come in. So if we're not, yes, we can be open, but if we're also not comfortable with the masculine receiving, that's if we've got issues with it. Now, I had a really dawning, oh my God, realization that I want to share with you guys. So if you guys read my post the other day, it was on Mother's Day Sunday, and it was about my process in shifting out, I call it clearing the thread, right? It was shifting out that hurt and pain that was buried in me for a long time. Now in that space, if you guys have read that, there was a part of it that I said, about me receiving money. Yeah. So building my business online, there was a big driver behind that, right? There's so many whys. I've got so many whys for building my business online. Okay. I could write a book about how many whys. So they're in my book. Okay. Because I'm there's so many. One of them that I was not conscious of until a few weeks ago was my childhood wound of my mother being a single mother and then remarrying and, going all into that. So the part of me, and that I wrote in the post the other day, was, it's okay, Mum. Somewhere along the line in my childhood, as being with my mum, a single mum, and then she changed, she remarried and blah, blah, blah. Seeing her hurt at whatever age it was, there was a part of me in my childhood stuff was it's okay, Mum, I'll go and make us lots of money. And so I stepped into the over-responsible part, and I was taking care of the family, and I was doing all these things, and, all of that sort of thing, right? And that hasn't left me. Now, there's a very unconscious part driving a lot of needing to create money, needing to do that thing. Now, in that process, if you guys know me and know my backstory, which my book's coming in detail, I've been on my own, for 10 years, been in relationships, but I've always been on my own in raising my daughter and in running a household. I haven't lived with anyone, especially being with my daughter, right? Now that I know and can feel and see and know everything's unraveling for me, in sense of that over-responsible part also is a protective mechanism from that childhood part of me, right? That said that, and I created some belief. I created some belief. I created some, what is it called? I chose to believe. That was just something that as children, we grow up in environments and they create beliefs and create realities because of our experiences and blah, 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 right? Now, so that part of me created that belief. And in that same belief, right? So it's almost like a double whammy or double belief or double protection mechanism. Was, it's okay, Mum, I'll go and earn us lots of money or whatever, so we can have money to eat or whatever. In the second layer to that was I dropped on some sort of belief that it wasn't safe to be with a man. It wasn't safe to be with a man for blah, 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 blah. Whatever the story was that followed that. There could be a zillion reasons. Okay? So there's like double layers of beliefs here. Okay. Now, in that belief, like I said, it wasn't safe to be with a man, in a sense that I've kept this distance from intimacy. And when I say that it wasn't safe to be with a man, in a sense that I saw my mum upset. I saw men hurt my mum, not like physically, but emotionally, not financially supporting her, not being there emotionally for her, not being there for her. Like, it wasn't safe. Well, like, aren't men supposed to, like, why is mum upset if, like, do you know what I mean? Like, and I don't consciously know this, if this is my childhood, like, self trying to logically understand the world, like, do you know what I mean? Like, this is deep stuff here. Deep subconscious unpicking, unravelings, right? Now, in that space, it's interesting, okay? Because what I realized that, like, floored me the other day was when we look at codependent relationships, when we look at addictive relationships, when we look at domestic violent relationships, the dawning realization that I had in everything I just explained then was in myself having that belief that it's not safe to be with a man. In that, I grew, I guess, resentment towards men. Yeah. So you know how, like, when we look at DV relationships and we look at all of that, it's like this hatred for men, I guess, right? Now, the dawning moment came that, you know how, like, in a DV relationship, there's, like, the men have this hate for women, like, you know, and people are like, oh, they love each other underneath. Yeah, of course they do. But let me explain the energetics here and the generational pass down of this. So if women are resentful towards men on whatever level, they don't feel safe. And then what that kind of creates is this, if that woman is carrying that, and then they have a man, they have a boy, they have a man, they have a boy, and that boy grows up to be a man. But that boy has the resentful man within him because that woman has carried that and has not cleared that. So that man then is carrying that, right? And so he energetically is attracting more women that hate men. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I was just like, so it's like these generational carry downs of the hatred towards men and women. So when we're looking at clearing generational wounds and we're clearing out, like, feeling safe with a man, it's like, well, a man needs to feel safe with a woman as well. So it's like, you know, we talk about everything as a reflection of everything else, and we've got these things going on. So if you're a woman in a relationship that has a man that's, like, really kind of hateful towards you, right? It's like DV stuff, right? And then if you're the flip side, so if you're a man in a relationship that has a woman that is hateful towards men, it's kind of like, whew, like, you know, like dropping down into those layers around where did that, you know, generational stem from, right? So I don't know if I'm explaining myself properly. I feel like I'm not explaining the, like, depth of the realization of the realization that I had. I probably should have written it down in the moment that I had it, but it was just like this thing. It's like, oh, no wonder, like, he's attracted me or she's attracted him, like, in that generational pass down, right? It's just like, wow. And I feel like, you know, within that realization is, like, what we are clearing out now collectively is that thread. We're clearing out the hate for women, the hate for men, the hate for, like, do you know what I mean? Like, and so in the grief that comes into that space, like, there's a collective grief that's shifting out. There's a, like, people just kind of start crying, but what it is, and like I said, it's like the hurt that has been buried for so long is finally coming out, and it's like, it can't be stopped, right? I'm getting covered in goosebumps, so I hope that I'm explaining this properly, yeah? So, yeah, you worked through these things, both the daughter and son being single for 12 years through choice. Now they both have amazing relationships. Yeah, awesome. Makes you feel proud that somehow broke the cycle. Yes. Yes, okay, totally get it perfectly. So you think yours is fear of them leaving you, I guess. Yeah, so you fake being strong like my mom. I attract weak men like my mom and dad. Bingo. Yes, exactly right. So it's kind of like when we look at this, like, you know, I'm like strong because actually I'm protecting myself so they don't come in, because then they don't leave me, because I'm safer, right? It's safer to be on my own than be with a man because they're going to leave me and they're going to hurt me. Like, do you know what I mean? It's kind of like, because that's what I saw my mum being hurt. So if I don't do that and I actually be strong and not even be with somebody, then I'm going to not experience that. Like, just not safe to be with men. Because do you know what I mean? And so that's the brain stuff around being safe with a man or being safe with a woman. So when you're working on, like, I feel like what's happening on a collective level at the moment is we're like coming into awareness of our own relationship with, obviously it starts in childhood, blah, 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 but then we can like work back and like rewire and go, actually, well, like, do you know what I mean? And like break that cycle. So when we have those realizations and really rework the brain around, is it safe to be with a man? What does it mean to be with a man? What does it mean to be with a woman? What does it mean to be in a relationship? And like rewriting, rewiring all of that. Yeah. Yep. Resentment on both sides. Exactly. Yeah. So, and you know, and if you're in a relationship that's like, you know, if they're open to, you know, working on this stuff, it's literally about clearing out the hate and resentment for women, for men, and looking at the childhood. What was it like growing up? Like, did I grow up in that? Right. So Jessie says, I have tears. You're spot on, Hannah. Been through it. I was just saying to my mum on the phone yesterday, trying to work out why I attract controlling, abusive men towards me. Do I need healing? Yes. So like why you attract controlling and abusive towards me is because like it's this space around like, well, if I have this protection shield up and I'm strong and I don't need help, and you know, like it's like that in itself is like attacking, but it's like this resentment towards women, resentment towards men, like, you know, use whatever, you know, if you're a man, if you're a woman, like use whatever in that sense, right? So when you're looking at working on clearing that out, it's literally like working down and dropping down through the thread. It's kind of like, okay, well, where did this stem from? Like, you know, what happened when I was growing up? You know, like what was my belief system? What environment did I grow up in that reflected, you know, like what does it mean to be in a relationship? Like, they're awesome questions to journal on, yeah, and clear out that. Okay, awesome. Now, how does that relate to the energy update about losing purpose and not wanting to do it anymore and giving up and feeling blah? So the other thing that I wanted to say about that is, as I always say, like, you know, like the pregnant mother scenario and when they're giving birth and they want to give up right at the end. Yeah. It's like when that kind of like that drive to the why is changed, it's like, whoa, it's a total recalibration. But when we can continue this and there's space here, what happens is it's almost like a vacuum, yeah, of the universe. Like when you're trying to manifest something and you're like, go push. And when you clear out that overdoing, over responsibility, over protection, like all of that stuff, what happens in that space then is that we create a vacuum, and the universe, like, we can still go along, but what happens is the frequency has changed, and whenever something is cleared out, there's a vacuum that's created and the universe feels that. So all you have to do is stay in alignment with the right frequency, the right, you know, like all of that stuff to create what you want. Yeah. So, okay, awesome. I'm so glad that made sense, because I was just like, the realization I had was it yesterday or the day before? And I was walking along at the shops and it was just like, ding, I was just like, whoa, like, hello, that makes total sense. I think it was actually today, a couple hours ago. Okay, so just checking these comments. It leaves a void, yeah, and the universe can fill that void. Of course, we can fill it up with whatever we want to, of course, but when we leave that space for the universe to fill it, then we can, you know, drop into what we're really trying to manifest, yeah? You just manifest what you wanted. Yes, awesome. Okay, so this leads us into, like, you know, how I really got into this place in my business, right? And in this space is like dropping into like this shifting, yeah? Now, a lot of you guys kind of know my backstory. If you don't, so I've been doing this spiritual stuff since I was 21. Yay, just manifested the job you wanted. Awesome. So I've been doing this stuff since I was 21, since 2005. And then 3 years ago, is it 3 years or nearly 3 years ago? But kind of like maybe 2 years before that, so maybe about the past 5 or 6 years, I kept like, it was just like, okay, I need to go online. Like, what's this online thing? And I felt like I was like asking questions to the universe in a way without even realizing it, if I look back on it, into like what, like, you know, like you sign up for an email, and I was like, how does then like they get this email? And if I sign up for this thing, like, and then I'm on somebody's email list, like how do they do that? And you know, like you see Facebook ads come up and then you sign up to the thing, and I'm like, how do they do, like, you know, I was just like asking these questions. And then like I obviously had been asking and receive, and then someone, like I saw someone's feed come up and it was like creating online courses, and I was like, oh my god, this is exactly what I've been asking, right? And it was all the things, like how, you know, you sign up to, you see this thing and you sign up to it and you give them your email, and then all of a sudden you're on their email list, and then how does that work? And then all of a sudden you can do this, and then you can log into their course and learn these things. And I'm like, how do they do that? Like how, you know, it was like this whole new kind of world for me, this online stuff. And in that space, I was like, you know, asking, and of course, like I said, you ask and receive, and this course came along, and I would not be where I am in my business without this course. Yeah. Now it is like all the tech stuff, and people ask me all the time, they're like, well, how do you do Facebook ads and how do you do this? And I'm kind of like, yeah, like I know how to do it, but for me to teach that stuff, that's kind of like out of my league, in a sense of like, I could force myself to sit down and like, you know, create courses on how to create courses, but I just haven't felt the drive. Like my passion is teaching you spirituality. My passion is teaching you how to grow in consciousness, how to shift out all these wounds and like all this stuff, right? That's my passion. That's where I'm feeling called to do. That's where my most aliveness is. But because I've been growing and building online, people are asking me how to do the tech stuff. Whilst I know and teach some of the tech stuff in my Life Purpose mentorship, definitely, I give, I guess, surface stuff, I get you going, right? But if you want the details, the ins and outs, the like, really like the start of your business, of how to get clients, how to start earning money online, how to work from anywhere in the world, how to build your online courses, how to have the freedom to do whatever you want, when you want, how to figure out how you even market yourself. How do you create a course online and make sure that nobody else has your name of your course? How do you know that there isn't a course out there already about what you're wanting to teach? How do you know that the people when you create your course, that they're going to buy your course? Like, how do you start making money online? How do you create a website page? How do you create a page and people sign up to your email and then you send them something and it's all automated? It's not like you're sitting there and sending them the email once. It's all automated. How do you create money online in your business and do it all automated, right? This course is how I did it, right? And I love Colleen. I love her to bits because, and then I was talking to her like kind of the past few weeks, because I'm like, I keep getting asked, like, how do you create on like, how do you do all the tech stuff, Hannah? How do you do Facebook ads? And I'm like, I don't know, but Colleen's course teaches you how. This is how, right? This is the course I did that got me to where I am now. So Colleen is opening the doors to Clients with Results, which is, it's everything of like how to book your clients, how to have it all automated, which is like I said, like everything that you guys see me do online, this is where I learned this, right? Without Colleen's course, I would not be where I am today. Like this is the course for all the tech stuff. Now she's made it even better from when I started learning it. So I signed up to her course in 2000 and what are we now? 16. It was the end of 2015 is when I signed up to her course, and I would not be where I am today without this course. Yeah. So please post the link. Yes, I'll grab the link. So this course as well is, I did put the link in the title of this live stream, but I'll just post it in the comments now as well for those of you who are on Facebook. So this is the course here, and the doors are open now. There's obviously like, you know, the early bird deal you get in now. That's only for, what's today? I think it's only for a couple of days. So if you want to jump in on the early bird price, it is there. I am an affiliate. I will be open and share that. But this is something I'm only affiliates with anything like, well, this is the only thing I'm an affiliate with actually. But this is something that is near and dear to my heart in a sense that I would literally not be where I am today with Facebook ads, with the tech stuff, with like, you know, if you guys follow me and you log into my website and you see my courses and you see how they're filmed and you see the little like, you know, I've got the beautiful slides because I love creating courses with slides, and then I've got the little like video of me down in the corner. Like if you've logged into my website and seen any of my courses, that's how I've created it. It's the tech of like all the lighting equipment, right? And how to set up your room. It's you know, like what programs do you use to like even film the slides? What slides do you need? Right? What program do you use about the slides, and like what size do you need? Because there's all these different sides. Like there's how do you then edit the videos and then put the little video of me down in the corner? How do you then export that? How do you upload it? Where do you upload it? How do you like, do you know what I mean? Like all that tech stuff, everything you need to know, how to set up Facebook ads, how to do everything. It's in this course, right? Like I said, I would not be where I am today without Colleen's course. The Clients with Results, the link is in the comments there. You can check it out. If you've got any questions at all, just send me a message, or you can comment on this video if you're still watching or watching the replay. Sure thing, Jess, I'll have to check it out on that, on Instagram. It'd be on the Facebook group, I assume, that you're talking about there. All right, so if anyone's got any questions about that, please let me know. But, you know, and this is where I said in the title of this live stream, like, this is, you know, where I am in my business now, making 20 plus months and increasing, and, you know, making that 100K in 7 months. Like I would not be in this place right now without that course, because whilst they say that mindset is 90%, and by the way, there's a pile of mindset like in this course, like in Clients with Results, there's like in every piece to it, there's the mindset piece that goes with it, right? And that actually wasn't in there when I did it. So it's gotten freaking better, right? And there's the course content, like there's everything in there. There's all the marketing stuff. Like I said, just like I would not be here without this. And obviously I've learned so much from it, and building online in this way. What was I going to say to that bit though? So, oh yes, so the mindset, right? They say that mindset is 90% to building your business, right? And by the way, I have not sent a private message to anybody to build my business. I would only send you a private message if you have sent one to me first. I do not go around sending a zillion messages to people. I've never like ran an event. Like, you know how on Facebook there's like the events like create an event for your thing. Like I've never done that to build my business. I've never done that. I've never, like I said, sent somebody private. I've never done any of that sort of thing before ever. And when people message me and private message me and say, hey, like my page, or hey, like sign up to this thing, or hey, check out my group, I'm like immediately unfriending them. I'm like, don't like, you know, it pushes people away, right? How do you build your business? How do you get clients booking in without pushing yourself, without sending messages, without doing any of that stuff? In this course teaches you how to do that, right? And it's how I've built my business. Like I said, I wouldn't have private messaged you unless you private messaged me first. Yeah. You found me through all the stuff that is taught in this course. So yeah, so that's like, it's all in there with that. And I just like, with the mindset, it's 90%, they say, yeah? It is a big chunk. Mindset is really freaking important, whether you're building a business, whether you're attracting a relationship, whether you're changing your life, like mindset is like everything, yeah? That's a no-brainer. But with Clients with Results, what this also is all the tech stuff, all the setting up your online courses, like I said, the lighting, the programs that you use, what tech you need, how to do it, and how to expand and how to actually get clients booking in so you can start making money fast, right? Now, that and having it automated, you know, like I'm on 20K plus months now, yeah, since building this. And I would like this, you know, and this is like, I kept saying to her, I'm like, are you like running this course? Because I keep getting asked, and I'm like, I don't have a calling to go and create a course on how to create courses. Like, that's your thing and you do it well, and you know, it's amazing. So yeah, so this here, the Clients with Results, is that. So like I said, if you've got any questions, send me a message. I could talk about it all day, but it's literally all the tech, it's all the different websites, it's all the programs, it's all the do's and not do's in Facebook ads, it's, you know, how to run all of that and set it all up from scratch, right? If you're starting from scratch, this is like the freakingest awesomest course like ever, right? Because that's how I started from scratch online. All the tech stuff that I learned online is in this course. So yeah, hey Amy. And I was going to say something else. Oh yeah, so, and this is the thing, like they say mindset's 90%, but it's kind of like, yeah, and I mean, you can build businesses without being online, like, of course, right? But if you want, like, it's like passive income, but it's not passive. It's not like you're sitting on the couch watching Netflix all day. I mean, you can do that on some days, right? But it's like you're always creating, and when you're working with your life purpose, this doesn't feel like work anyway. Like, we do what we love and we love what we do, and we can work from anywhere we choose to. We can work our own hours. Like, it's like midnight tonight and I'll be sleeping in the morning. Like, you know, just go with the flow. Friggin' awesomest course. Yeah, I know. I was just like, oh, that was on your one as well. I love it. Love it. So anyway, the point is, like, there's systems to have in place. They say, oh, it's not about strategy. It's not about strategy. It's not about systems. And I'm like, well, fuck, you need a fucking structure to hold the building up, right? And it's like, this is exactly what this is. You need the tech. You need the systems set up, because you need the containers to be able to receive the finances, the inflow, the people. Like, you've got to have a house built, right? And your online website with all automated systems that allow you to catch people, to build a relationship, to, you know, draw in and create all of, like, everything that you guys see. Like I said, everything that you see me do online has come from this course. Yeah. Everything from the visual images that I have around, you know, like setting up, you know, like how I share all my stuff online. Like, I wouldn't be doing that. I wouldn't be saying, hey, like, here's my free audio meditation if you log into my site, blah, blah, blah. Like, all of that stuff is in there, right? So yeah, so anyway, I could talk about it all day long. But if you guys have got questions, let me know, yeah? Because this is what this is. And like I said, I am an affiliate. I'll put my hand up and say that. It's like, I'm not an affiliate to any other thing. But this I am, because I would not be where I am today. And as I said to her, I'm like, I'm so grateful for you, because I wouldn't be earning 20K months if it wasn't for this system and the structure of learning the tech online, right? It's like literally everything is in there. From the lighting equipment to the course content creation to the mindset that you need to being able to have automated booking systems, you know, like, and this is where I wake up in the morning and I've already had sales, you know, like this month, what are we now, May, like, you know, waking up and I've made $700-800 and it's only like 6 a.m. and I'm like, today's a good day. It's all every day, all day, right? Hey, Wendy. All right, so the link is in the comments there. You'll see me posting about it as well, but it's only a couple of days at this entry-level price to get in if you really want to be serious about building the tech online, about, you know, creating a life of freedom. And this is the thing, it's like people are like, it's not about the money. And I'm like, well, fuck, I'd rather have money than not have money, you know, and being able to, you know, go places that I want to go without even worrying about it, you know, like that's the ultimate vision. I just want to have that amount of freedom to be able to book a ticket tomorrow, or buying kittens like we did today. Check my story if you haven't checked my story. We may or may not have new pet kittens today. This is what you need. Yes, you have the content, but not the system. Yes. Oh my God, you just said that to me on WhatsApp, didn't you? I checked. I haven't checked your reply. I did see that come through earlier. This is what you need. Yes, this is the entire system. Like, literally. Whoops, I'm knocking my light. Did I have it all worked out first? No. Like, obviously, you know, I like being, like, I've been doing the spiritual stuff since like 2005, right? So I've taught yoga classes, I've taught yoga classes, taught workshops in person, you know, like, and like I was teaching in-person workshops. So like, if like, you know, to do the online stuff, when I was like questioning and I'm like, how do I do this? How do I sign up? And then, you know, then they send me an email, like, how does that happen? Right. And during that time, it was like 10 months, I ran workshops. I ran a chakra workshop. I ran a chakra a month over 10 months. And what I did is I set a date for that workshop. And then I wrote a book or like a manual to give to the students for that workshop, right? And I did that for 10 months. Probably about halfway through was when Colleen's course came up in my feed, like how those magic things do. And I'm like, oh, here's my answer, right? And I signed up to it, but I knew in myself, I was like, don't even open that course. Like I signed up, I got it, and I had it sitting there for like 5 months because I knew in myself I needed to finish writing these books. I needed to finish writing the workshops and the books before I opened that course, right? Of how to do courses online. But I knew that these books that I was writing were the basis of my content. Now, that's because I'm passionate about chakras, I'm passionate about spirituality. So I didn't have it all worked out, but I had an idea what I wanted to teach, right? Wanted to turn those books into courses. Now, when I started the online course of how to do the courses, which is this Clients with Results, when I started that, I didn't end up putting the books into the courses. Like it didn't happen the way I thought that it would, but it happened better in a way that the way Colleen has designed that course, it takes you through a process of like figuring out like what it is that you're here to do, what it is that, you know, like how do you find that? How do you make sure that no one else has got your thing? How do you, like the names, the websites, so like all that stuff, like how do you know that someone else hasn't got that? And then it's like creating the system to put that in place to then create the course. So like, do you know what I mean? Like it's all there, but the way she designed it was like, I don't know, I didn't know what I was expecting. I was like, cool, I'm going to learn how to do this, right? And it was just like better than what I realized because it taught me so much more about what I offer and what I teach. And Trust Your Intuition, my Trust Your Intuition course, is what came out of learning how to do that. Yeah. And now, you know, it's like, you know, when you first learn to drive a car, it's kind of like, and now you don't even think about it, right? Now like Trust Your Intuition was what came out of from Clients with Results when I learned it, and that was the end product. Yeah. And obviously my website and all the automated systems that I use and Facebook ads, like, so, you know, you might have come into my field or liked my Facebook page or anything like that through my Facebook ads or from somebody sharing my ad or something like that, right? And you would have signed up to one of my Clearing Negative Energy guides or anything like that. And then, you know, you're kind of in my field and like, so Trust Intuition came out of that. Now she teaches you funnels, the Facebook ads, like all the stuff you need. It's all in this course. It's where I learned it all of that. Now that Trust Intuition's done, like, you know, I finished creating that was like, it's been, I don't remember the years now. So I think it was like February 2017. I completely finished it. And that's what, like I said, it's what you see now today. What do I want to say to that? So since then, so now I'm filming Rapid Ascension Awakening, yeah, which is like even bigger than Trust Your Intuition. But that's what you've seen. I don't know how long you've been following me, but that's what you would have seen come out. So Rapid Ascension Awakening is now the chakras going into that course. Yeah, I'm doing a course, a chakra. Yeah, because there's so much content. There's so, like, the chakras, it's not like just a little thing. Like, we can go deep with the chakras, and this is my gift. I'm a deep person. It's my gift. Some people call it drama. Some people call it too much. I call it deep. I'm here to share my gift and my purpose, and that is deeply going into each of the chakras and awakening the consciousness of humanity. That is my gift. That's what I'm here to do, and I'm damn well owning that. And now I have this outlet called Online World, called I can create as many courses as I want to because I know how to do it all. And, you know, now I've got an outlet. I'm like, yes, let me create, right? The point of what I wanted to say to that is that Colleen's course took me to creating Trust the Intuition when I thought I was going to create the chakras, each chakra in a book. However, what I've since done is that Trust the Intuition is like my baby, I guess, yeah? And it's everything you need to know to be able to trust intuition. Now, when I signed up to do the online courses, I didn't know I was going to do that. But the way that she's structured, outlined, and created that course enabled me to put together my best gift, right? So I've got a gift, I've got all these ideas, I've got like all these things I need to like, oh my God, like I can help all these people with these things, but I didn't know how to put that together. And she and the structure of her course just, it's like that was the end product. It was like took me from all my scatteredness and like into like, here you go, here's my Trust the Intuition course. Do you know what I mean? So that's why I'm really passionate about it. It's like I said, I wouldn't be here. Plus it's like building my online business. Like if you need to know how to build your online business, yeah, it's this one. So yeah, you're so welcome. You're so very welcome. All right, so the link is in the comment thread here. It's also in the top of the what's it called, the title of this live stream. So, and if you'd like, if you're watching on Instagram, just send me a message and I can send you the link there as well. So if you think this live stream can help somebody, or if you've got any questions and you're watching the replay, just comment below, or you can tag them in the comments, or you can share this in a private message with them. And if you, like I said, if you're watching a replay and you've got questions, just comment below and I will answer them for you. Come back and answer the comments. So how long did it take me? How long is the course? So the course is, I think it's 8 modules. Is it 8 modules? All the details are on the link there. She outlines it all. I'm just trying to remember. So module, yeah, 8 easy modules to go through. So like Facebook ads, the automated sales system, handling hesitations, effortless enrollment calls, pricing your offers. How do you even find the right price for your offers? Crafting irresistible offers. So it's like putting it like all these like scattered ideas into like, yes, I need that. Let me sign up for that, right? Mastering your message, mindset makeover. So all of that is in there. So it's like 8 modules, but then there's the bonus of the Course Design Academy, which is exactly, like I said, like the tech of like what programs do you use, what software, what lighting, like all that sort of jazz is there. So yeah, and as you, like for your question, like how long did it take you? How long is the course? So it's like, it's self-paced in a way that it's lifetime access, self-paced. So it's a bit like my Trust the Intuition course. You turn up and you do it at your own pace, which was good for me. Like I said, when I originally signed up, I was like I wanted to open it, but I knew it was like a whole new learning thing. Like, you know, it was like, it's a big, like you're taking an online course. And I was like, I need to finish writing my books. And so I didn't start the course for another, it was like, so I signed up in December and I didn't start that course until July. So yeah, so there was that. But then, so from like July, so it was July 2016 that I started it. And so by the time I finished, July 2016, I finished Trust the Intuition from how you see it today in, was that February 2017, right? So what's that? 6 months, 7 months? Now, when I was doing the course, because there's a support group as well. So on Facebook, there's the support group as well. I was like seeing this, like there's this one particular woman and she's like, I'm up to this bit already. Like she'd flown through it. And I'm like, how are you doing that? And she's like, and I'm like, oh my God. And I'm homeschooling and I'm also running my business and blah, blah, blah. And she's like, well, I've got, all my kids are growing up and I don't work and this is my work. So she was like working on it full time. And I'm like, oh, well, that makes sense. So again, how long can it take you? Pretty quick if you go through it pretty quick. Do you know what I mean? If you've got time to do it, you can fly through it because she did. So it only took me that long because I was still running other workshops as well. I was running yoga teacher trainings at that point as well. So I didn't have, I was still contracting for other people. And then it was in January 2017, that's when I was like, not doing any in-person classes anymore. I stopped teaching all my in-person yoga classes. I stopped, teaching, other yoga. I was teaching the yoga teacher training that time and I just stopped working for anyone else and I completely worked for myself in January 2017. And so yeah, so you can work through it quicker than what I did, but because I was doing a zillion other things as well, it took me a bit longer, but there was people that were flying through it. So hey Shannon. So yeah, so the link is there. It is only for a limited time, like with the early bird, and then that goes up as well. But yeah, the link is there. So I can't believe that I'm on at this time. I know it was like 12:15, right? I know. But I realized it's been an emotional couple of days, been an emotional week for me with putting Panda down last week, as you guys know, if you've been following me. And I was kind of in a bit of a stuff, like my stuff today as well. I had another big release. My Trust Intuition Tribe held space for me. Thank you so much. And I guess I was feeling a bit overwhelmed like this afternoon, and I was just like, what's going on? And I don't know how I got into this. But my realization that shifted me to hey, I'm wide awake at 12:15 and live streaming because this is where my flow is today in this week in this cycle, right? It always changes, by the way. And a big realization for me was, I don't know, in the overwhelm, or it was just I've got so much to do and why am I not getting this stuff done and whatever. And for this, I don't know, I'd lost my flow. You know, we've been talking on this live stream about people feeling depressed and loss of purpose and angry and lots of anger and lots of tears and lots of everything. And I was and I've been feeling that too. And I thought it was just me, but then I realized other people, and I'm oh, there's a collective shift here, of course, right? But what dropped in for me was I was feeling trapped. I was feeling rigid. I was feeling like there wasn't enough time and all this shit. And I'm hello, I'm the creator of my reality. And I started taking back my power. And what I realized was for whatever reason, I'd got into the trap, and maybe that's the time construct of reality of whatever. And I'm actually my flow is now in a sense of this space, you know, it was oh, I need to get enough sleep at night, and I need to be in bed by 10 o'clock, and I need to be up at 5, and I need to do my day, and then you know, I need to just work during the day. And then I'm fuck man, talk about getting caught up into mainstream reality or some shit. I'm that's not how I work. I'm give me my flow back. I'm I'll be live streaming tonight because that's when I can. And yeah, you're still on after the launch party. I can't go to sleep. Thanks for being on Facebook Live. I so wanted to come, Sarah, to Sarah's in my Trust Intuition, and she launched. Did you want to drop your link in the comments? Is it Alchemista? Is that how you pronounce it? Your new essential oils. And I so wanted to come, but then with Panda and then with my daughter spraining her knee and she's on crutches, and I was just oh my god, it just doesn't, I'm we just can't come. Just it just felt all these things, and I'm but I really wanted to come. So doesn't surprise me that you can't sleep after your launch party. Alchemista, yes, I got it right, yay. Love it, love it, love it. If you'd like information about Sarah's new launch of her oils, send me a message and I'll send you the link. I can't wait to get them. Awesome. All right, does anyone else have any questions? Ooh, I've only got 1 minute and 58 seconds remaining on Instagram Live, because I think you can only do an hour or something. Have I been on for an hour? Wouldn't surprise me, because I talk and I get info. Oh no, wait, thank you. All right, if nobody's got any other questions about creating 20K plus and increasing months, or online courses with all the structure and all the tech and all the ins and outs about the stuff that people don't talk about, because they're oh, it's all about mindset and you've just got to do journaling, and it's yeah, but you also need to have systems and structures in place. It's the feminine and it's the masculine. It's not one or the other. It is both, yeah? And it's coming to peace with the both, which is why the start of this live stream was about literally coming to peace and releasing that resentment and hate and all that jazz. It's all part of it, yeah? It's not one or the other. It's all of it, yeah? It's all combined. Good night, Michelle. Thanks for joining live. Guys, got any questions? Send me a message. I love you guys heaps. Thank you. Bye Instagram, because you're about to end. Anyway, thanks for joining live, guys. Thanks for joining live. Love you heaps.